Hello.
You're audible.
Anyway, let's go with what we have now. There is a monitor always connect for an extension view, but I think it is having challenges with setup. So a good evening, everyone. Yes, we happen to be running into our last sessions. Yes, would have loved this to continue on and on, but the other sessions I think will be one-on-one. Then even the support that we shall be taking off on the WhatsApp group. I realized that even though I do end-to-end for Power BI, I had started talking about some advanced Power BI for some maybe among us who may be at least who have used Power BI for the last 1 to 3 months. So it is unfair to pump a lot that we can't receive, and yet we are not practicing. So even in the start, the plan was to have the basic, the intermediate Power BI, then we can screen out the teams who will need to continue with Power BI maybe for another session, either 1 month, 2 months from this program, but we are planning to end this tomorrow. Then the others we shall be sending through an assessment that we shall have to do all of us. Then the support we shall be getting either one-on-one or by a group. I can always drop by for such sessions, but on a demand. That means that it will be like a request that we have this report that is having issues with maybe a specified team, either procurement or logistics, then we shall always drop and think and plan on how to come up with a report. Today and tomorrow it will be more of Q&A. Please don't feel timid on unmuting and asking your question. I need just to understand those who have tried to engage with the interface, what you have found out, and we can learn from your trials you've done. So today I'm going to focus on a few things. I'm going to focus on still measures. Last time we hinted on them. Then another thing, we are going to focus on how we create tool tips. You will find that when you hover your mouse in someone's report like this, you'll see there are those pop-ups that keep coming up. So we call that a tooltip, such a pop-up. Then we shall see whether we can have this one scaled up into a better tooltip. Then another thing we are going to look into, how do you publish? And after publishing your report, how do you manage it on the other end? How do you share with your team? Your reporting means when you reach this point, you just have to make a screenshot and share it with a team. Or you just have to analyze such a report and like how it is. But sharing a file, it will be hard for you who is not logged in or who doesn't have a Power BI account that is paid for you to share your report with others. So I think that is it. Now, last time, if I can make a review on what we did last time. So we looked at how we create, I don't know whether everyone here attended the call last session. If we need to deep dive into a lot than a refresher. So I'll take it like we have already a recording. You can go there and do the reviews, but we shall start from where we stopped last time. So last time we said that always when you have already uploaded your tables, you have done your models, obviously you'll start coming up with visuals. That is the analysis we see at the end of the day. You have made the analysis. Do you get out? Siraj, it is your first session, but we have all the recordings, don't mind. We have all the recordings. Susan will avail with you access in case you have access to that folder, but if you don't have, I had posted some on YouTube, but it is unlisted, which means it can't be viewed by public. I have to give you a link. So that by the time you come up with such visuals, it means that you'll have already done a lot. And the a lot, this is what we meant. You'll already be having a data model in the background like this. Of Excel and Power Query. So we all know how to do data models for our reports. Then you'll make sure that every table is clean and is in the right format. Then that's when you come now to the report view, which is this canvas. So we did this, I think for the last two sessions, we have been building this, and coming up with this, last time we said that at some point you need measures. So when you look into when you look into how we came up with this card, the whole of this is the scorecard. So checking this card, you'll find that it has some of the fields which we picked directly from the table. Because when you always select any visual, it will always show you where it is picking data from. So when I select this card, this will be selected. It means that we are picking something from the order details, that is the amount. We have the order IDs. We are picking something from the product. We have the product ID. Then these are the products being picked up from this field. Then we are picking something from the measure we created, the orders, the percentage of revenue generated by the new customers. We also did the amount generated by the new customers in percentage. The other one is in percentage. So the moment you select even this graph or this bar chart, it will clearly tell you in your data where you're picking those fields you used to come up with this. So you'll check here, this one we picked the customer name, which was on the y-axis, then we used the amount, which is on the x-axis. Like that. So you can use this one, this technique, same way if you're reviewing someone's report. Like I want to know how your report was being created. So ensure that you can always come up with
Stop. It was working and got connected some black on network.
sorry, Susan. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I know we have always got those recordings when they stop. It's good that she will archive them and share. It's fine. So now, then we are going, I don't want to go to the complex DAX because our major objective now is to learn how do you come up with a DAX, just a simple DAX. So this is what I want us to start with. We are going to recreate some of the DAX which we created here. You see here we have the amount, and when you enlarge this, it was just multiplying out the other fields to get the amount. So last time when you look at our field or our table, that is the orders table, we find that they gave us the unit price, they gave us the quantity, they gave us the discount. We did two scenarios last time, if you remember. The first scenario, we said, let's add a new row. So when we added a new row, it was basically using the function directly into a table. And you see, this was the function. And the function was easily telling us that it is order table. We go to the quantity field, which is this. We multiplied it with the unit price, which is this. And we subtracted the discount, which is this. Okay. I don't know what Susan was saying, but I don't know whether it comes to me. So this time we said, I gave you the disadvantages of why you are not supposed to create always add columns on a table, is that you keep adding the storage size on your file. So your file will be becoming bigger and bigger, and at some point you can never share it, or you can never transfer it even from one laptop or gadget to another because it is too big. Then on another case, when your data is refreshing every time you access it, it takes long. Like you see that spooling icon, it spools for long. So that's why we go for measures. Now, on measure bit, last time I said any table you have selected, you can create a measure. But when you create a table that is going to contain all your measures, that is the best way you can always do it. And I showed you how you create this. You create a new table, then after that, with an empty column, then after that, you keep moving all your measures there. Such that when I start doing my analysis, I know everything I'm going to use is from this table because I've done all the calculations I need. So today I'm going to show you how do you calculate the amount. Let's do it again. So when I select my table, that is table measures, I want to calculate the amount. We did it last time, but I'm repeating it for the people who should have forgotten or who have not done practice on this. So you go to new measure. The moment you go to new measure, it will open always this. It will open in other spreadsheets, we call it a formula bar. But here we don't call it a formula bar. You can call it a DAX field, or you can call it a DAX bar. So that's where we put our DAX. And you can enlarge it. You see how I'm expanding it from here. So you can expand it in case you need enough space to come up with your expression. Now, how is our expression? I'm going to call it till you can rename this. So the name you put at first before the equal sign, that is going to be the name of the measure. So let me call it calculated amount. That is different from the other amount we have. So when you put calculated amount, we shall say equals to. Now here, when you to pick any field, you either start with any function that is in Power BI. You either use sum, or you use count, or you use count A. So you start with sum like this. So the moment I put sum, you see there is summarized column, there is sum X. I may not go through all of them, but for now, let's look at the basic one we are using. So we shall use sum. And the moment you put the first function, it will bring all the tables, all the fields you have in all the tables. You see, it has started with the categories table, it has gone to the customers table, it has gone to the data table, there is the employees table. So we know which field we need and it is in which folder, or I can say it is in which table. So the table we are picking our fields is called the order details table. So you can always start typing, you'll see the table is reducing. Now we have remained with order and order details because I've typed so far the word order. The moment I put underscore, the other orders table disappears. We remain with order details. Now, it is at this point where we pick the field we need. So I showed you that table, which means now I'll come and pick my field because we are multiplying quantity times price minus discount. That will give us the amount. So you can start with quantity, it picks like that. Then multiplication, we put a times here. Then again, you put order details table, or you can type now, you can even use unit price like this. No, we are supposed to start with sum. So every time you're going to pick a field, you're supposed to start with sum. Then you can even type anyone that can easily search for you what you're looking for. So you see when I type unit, it brings me this table and its unit price field. So I'll click on that. So you can go ahead and close this. You go ahead and close this sum. It ends there. Then multiply again. Are we multiplying? This time we are subtracting. So subtract, still we are subtracting the sum of all the discounts. So we shall start typing here discount. It will bring for us product discontinued and order details discount. So this is what we need. So close this. So the moment you are done with this, this is the DAX we have rated. Now the good thing with Power BI, you can arrange this one such that it is easy for anyone next time to read, which means I can put this one on its own line. By pressing a shift enter, it brings on its own line. I can multiply and even put this sum on its own line. I can subtract and even put this on its own line. Now, that's the beauty with DAX, which means here it is easy for someone to read that we put the field quantity, we multiplied it with unit price, we subtracted discount. Here, what you have done here is very okay with DAX. Even you can put spaces. So you can put a space there, you can put a space there. Then if I select check or commit, it will automatically run my measure and you'll see the name here. So at the moment, it is like I haven't saved it. So the moment I cancel, which means what I've done will be canceled. So I'm going to commit. So the moment I commit, it is going to work on it and automatically you'll see the measure appearing here. And this is the measure. So it means that when you want always to read this measure, you can expand. And here it is easy for anyone to read that they got some of the order quantity, some of the unit price, some of the discount, they subtracted, they multiplied. Very easy. That's how we arrange our DAX. So you don't have to compact them in one line. Now that's the beauty of Power BI. Then, in case there is any error, let's say we put here 2 multiplications. Power BI will always bring you a red highlight. You see that red highlighter, even telling you that this is an expected expression. And when you check the bar here, it will always show you red and you'll easily tell that in this line, I have a mistake. So with DAX, when you're writing a DAX, it is easy to tell where the mistake is lying. And when you arrange it in this format, you can easily tell where an error is lying. You don't have to gamble through all this to look for the error. It already tells us that the error is here. The moment I delete it, the red goes off, and here we are good to go. The moment I add another bracket here, I'm closing, and I try to enter this, commit this, it will run, but tell me, you see, it has created here a red triangle, meaning that I have an error. And when you read the syntax, they will tell you that there is a syntax error, which is incorrect. DAX, you have written this. So it becomes now on your end, now you have to look out where the error is. But we need to use the technology we have. The moment you have a DAX like this, and you can't tell where the error is, you can always take it to ChatGTP. ChatGTP will always tell you, or it will always correct for you what the error is, and it will delete it and give you the correct syntax of the DAX. So since we know the error is here, we can remove it. The moment I commit again, this will be good to go. The red triangle is gone. Now, let's try it out to see whether we're on the right track. Let me create just a card here and pick our calculated amount. So you can pick it using this option here. There are some people who told me that, you know what, this option for me, I don't have it. You just need to upgrade your Power BI. There is a new version for July. Just install a new version. It will update the other one that is already installed. So when you click on this, it will always bring you a field insertion placeholder. So I'll click on this, then I look for where my field is. All these tables are collapsed. So I'll go to my table measures. I know that's where it is, and this is it. If you don't know where it is lying and you have many tables, always search for it here. So the moment I put Carl, it will automatically appear as the only one. So I click on it, here we go. And this is it. This is what we get, 2.9 billions. Last time we saw that we are getting a difference when we use a calculation and when we use, when we go for the calculated field, which I think I don't know whether we dug depth into it to see whether how we were meant to do it, but let's see. Let's go back to our DAX. We see whether we are missing any mathematical arithmetics we are supposed to follow. Now, when we go back to our DAX, just click on it like this. Now here, we are multiplying first these two. So it can be okay for me to open a bracket here before the sum, like this. Let's open a bracket to see whether there is a change. Then we close a bracket after multiplying. Then we subtract when everything is done. Let me commit on this. I see whether there is a change. Nothing is changing. So that was the worry we were having last time, of which I haven't got where the issue comes from, but the major thing is the basics on how we pick out the syntax. You may not deal with the same report, but this is it. And I feel like I have a trust more in this calculated syntax than the other one we created directly on the table. So I'll look into that. I will maybe get back to us because we found out that this was giving us a different one. Okay, let's multiply with this and okay. So that's how we create DAX. Now we want to go ahead and create some other things that like I can say, let's try to complicate it, not to complicate it for us to fail to understand, but for the benefit of if I'm analyzing and I need a percentage maybe of a certain month, then can I get it? So it also depends on always the visual that you'll always be using. Let me put this on another table. So last time we said that if you want to split this in 2 months, into by employee, by product, you can never go for a scorecard, which means you'll go for something else that is not a scorecard. So if I pick a table, I want to show the difference between a table and a matrix. That I got a question from someone on one of the social media. So let's start with a table. So for a table, we shall pick, we want maybe by month. I'll come pick my first column. Go look for where my month is. You can come and type it here. So we have been looking at the order date rather than the required date and the shipping date. So we shall go with this month. So the moment you insert that month, it automatically even sorts itself from January to December. And I will add another column. The other column, I need the calculated amount. So the moment I add that, here we go. So you'll find that you are stretching this one through from Jan to December. Now someone will ask you, if I want the percentage by month, such that I want to know which percentage is done each month. So you can have that in form of a DAX, or I can go ahead and add another column, then change that into percentage. There are two ways. So if we click on this calculated amount and we try to change this to percentage, we shall not have the aggregation because the other aggregation is already giving us the total sum amount. Now, how do we get percentage? Then let's go back to the DAX. Let's go back to the DAX. So getting percentage by month, we shall first go to a quick measure. Then we run through it, then we see how it is going to split this by month. Quick measure. Last time I told you that you can always create calculations from this end. So you can create calculations of aggregated by, then there are time IntelliSense, we did something. Then here there is totals, running totals and all that. Then here there is percentage difference. That is if you want to go for the mathematical. Now, if I come to percentage difference, then I can go with that. Now, what is the best value I'm considering? You'll say the best value we are considering, this is the calculated amount. And what is the value we are comparing to? Let's see, the value we are comparing to, no, this is not a parameter. Okay, this one will not give us that. That's the difference. Okay, let's go to the suggestion. Let's try out this. Now here I'll say percentage of each month for the cal underscore amount. So it will automatically pick and it is telling me that yes, we can get a percentage of each month for the cal this. So let's generate and see. So let's study this one with a keen eye. So when you go to this measure they're telling us this is the average calculated per order date. Here they are looking at order date. Then this is also per order date. This is required. We need the order date. Here we go. Now here they are telling us that you get the average. You'll put a filter, the values you'll use the order date, and you'll go ahead and do the calculations using our measure. So if I say add, this one is going to pop up into the DAX field. So what here they are showing us that for you to get the percentages, obviously you will be splitting this into a certain filter. Which filter are you going with? We are considering a value and we are considering the order date. So, and as you consider this filter, what do you want as the outcome? The outcome, I need it on the measure. So we always use a calculate to hold anything to do like a measure or a field. So if I change this to percentage amount per month, and I say commit. So the moment we commit, it will automatically be reflected already in our fields or our table, our measure table. So I'll come here on my table again, click on this, we go and pick that field, which is this, yes. So the moment we pick the field, it is giving us, no, this is not it. Is it in percentage? Okay, we have to put this in percentage. Whoa. Key filter as average. It's just getting for us the average per month. It's not a percentage. Okay, let's get a percentage here. This is going to be I will go back to the quick measure and refine this. Monthly percentage of calculated amount to the grand total and total calculated amount. Okay, we are having a complex here, which I don't want us to go through. Let's go with another option that is simpler. For now, we are going to go with a measure itself from the calculated field. That is, instead of picking the measure, because with the measure, I think we are getting challenges to calculate the percentage amount per month. So instead of this, I'll go and pick the column, the calculated amount, because when you have a calculated amount just from a column, that one you already have an aggregation here, which you can play with. Average, minimum, but still it doesn't also give us a percentage. I think that is something I will have to look into, come up with the simplest formula we can go with in case we need to go with a percentage. For now, I will park that. I look out for a simpler way to go with. So let's go for another measure. That is calculating the number of orders. That is we did last time. We said that the number of orders, it is always a count. And when you to start with anything to do with count or counting distinct, we always start with the calculate function. So if we need the number of orders, we shall always start with calculate. This is a placeholder that gives you a space to have even more than one function. So even if you're doing a sum, the formula we have just done, or the DAX we have just done for amount, you can always start with calculate. If you think that you're going to use more than one formula, or you're going even to insert filters. So here I want to calculate, then you start with count. And last time I explained the difference between count and count distinct. So we said count, it counts everything. Even if it is a duplicate, it will count them times 2, times 3, times 4. But when you're counting orders, your major target is counting an order one time. Even if that order was appearing like 3 times in a table, because it has 3 items, we are counting it once. So we shall come on count distinct instead. Count distinct means that everything you're counting it once. If you find 3 sabiti, you're counting only 1. That will be the order. So if you're counting the number of orders, you go with that. So distinct will be now, we pick now the field for the number of orders. We said the number of orders, we go with the ID in the orders details. Like we have our reports, you run a report for from SAP, that ID automatically stands to be the order number. You run a report from Zonda, it is the same thing. So you will always go with the ID. So which means I will go in the orders table, or you can start with, anyway, yeah, that is it. So orders table. Then in the orders table, you look for the order ID, and the order ID is automatically the order number. So this is what we want to count. So the moment you are done that, which means we shall close that. So if you're continuing doing filters, you can go ahead and do filters by saying if the month is maybe January, you can go ahead and it will give you all orders for only January. By the moment we are not getting any filters, we want the total sum. So I will close this and commit or check this. The moment you check this, it has to be giving us the number of orders. And this is it. So when I pick out a scorecard and pick my order details, drag and put here. So that is another option. So you can drag this and just drop in this placeholder of the scorecard. The moment you drag, it will give you the 830. Or the other option, you can use this option of the add data, come here, search for it. And searching for it, here it is. We use the number of orders, and there you go. So the moment you change this into another thing like a table, or a graph, a line graph, this is how it will stand because it is asking for other details because you have changed the graph. So the other details, they need an x-axis. So it is up to you since I've chosen a line chart, which means the x-axis, I have to pick something like month or date or anything to do like that. So I pick a month because I remember I told you that a line chart is a trend, which should always be used with time. If it is not time, then you're using it in the wrong way. So there you go, because you have changed the chart. So you can even go ahead and change to another chart, let's say bar chart. It will automatically change. So it will automatically change and know that the months are supposed to be on the y-axis, these are supposed to be on the x-axis. On how to go ahead and format this, we did last time. Here I'm just refreshing on exactly what you're meant to do. So there are other charts like we have a multi-row card. So you'll see a multi-row card will always be in this format. You can use it, but sometimes it doesn't look fine with a lot of parameters. You see, it gives you January 88, February 83, March this, and here it is showing number of orders. So it's up to you now to refine this one the more, but selecting a chart that you are supposed to use for a certain data you're presenting is more always essential. So you'll always find most of the things we are supposed to use bar and column, you're supposed to use line and area, then you can go for the other ones at the bottom, which are always specific. How specific they are, the type of data you're presenting. Sorry. So as I told you last time that using other visuals apart from line and bar, it is always so much specific that that data really needs that visual. Like you cannot bring that data and put it on a pie chart. It doesn't give you sense. It doesn't even give any difference. Someone looks at this as if it is the same, of which it is not. Okay, which means we stamp on this, that this one will always be either bar graph like this, sorry, a column chart. It will always be a bar graph like this. And since it has time that is months, it will always be a line chart. And you can go ahead if you want to have it more with an area chart, but this one explains it in another way in case you were doing comparisons of something that has thin differences, like the difference is thin where you need people to visually see what is the area occupied. Then there is also a tree map, which always gives you this sense that a bigger square carries huge data. So if you take it to formatting, you can go ahead and add data labels. So you'll see that every data label will be showing you that way. What else? I think that is it. So with selecting visuals in Power BI, it is more the same how we did in Excel. You have to be critical enough on which visual you want to take up with you. So what else do we go for here? I said you can go ahead and always recopy and paste, reuse your visuals rather than starting off afresh. Like if I want to reuse this, you see the moment I change, which means even if I copy this and pasted it somewhere else, I can, and pasted it somewhere else, I can change this into something else and even remain with the other one on side. Maybe this one, I want maybe to change only for the top 10 or top 5, yet here I wanted maybe the whole details. It's all about you. So you can even pick this same table copy it and paste and change this to another visual as a card. So you'll see here it shows you a total sum in a card. Here it shows you a split by numbers in months, and here it shows you a split by numbers in a visual or in a bar chart. So then there is also going for a gauge. There are some people asking me, when do I ever use a gauge? So a gauge, you use it when you have a target set somewhere. Because when you click on this and you go to its format, settings, it will always ask you for a target here. So if you don't have a target, you can always input a target. So you must be having a value that is going to bring a target that will show you that this is the target. Here they are just picking the number of transactions that are on the other side. So which means a gauge is not a good thing to use now for this because we don't have the target. But if you have the target, you can always go ahead, click here, then you input the target here. So you can create now a target. This is where I was telling you, at any point you need a measure. So you can come now to a measure. If we need a target, let's say these people are supposed to create 1,000 orders. So I'll come here on measures and say, okay, let me create a measure for a target. So you'll click on measure because we need to create a target. Then you'll come and say target equals to, if a target is a field, select that field. If you have a field which has targets for every month, go and select that field, which means that table will be separate and it will be modeled at the other end. But since now I don't have a field, I'll say my target is 1,000. And the moment you put this is already DAX. The moment you put this, I will commit on that. And it will automatically drop here as a measure, which means when I come back to my gauge and I'll say, okay, this is my gauge. I'll say my target here is, you go and pick your target. Where is my target? Here on measures, pick that measure. So that becomes your target. And now you see, it is showing us here that this is the bar for your target. You have hit up to 830, but you are meant to hit up to 1,000. Styling this is something you can go there, guys. You can go there, try to tick off and tick in everything. Try to check how everything works. Not everything you'll always get it in sessions like this, but it is a trial. So when you come to colors, you can say, okay, my target, I need it to be blue, then my fill color will be, we can take a light green like this. So that's a green. So you can even go ahead and give it, you come and give it a condition. You say, when what I have accumulated, orders I've accumulated, if they go to this minimum, it should be this color. If they go to this maximum, it should be this color. You can go ahead and do that. So if I put here a minimum, let's say, of 500, then here it should always show a red. Let me put red. Then a maximum of 800, it should always show me a green, like this. So I'll go ahead and okay this function. Now this time, we have put a function, we have not put a color. Now, the moment I filter this by selecting any month this side, you see, I've selected March, so this one has changed to 103. So 103 automatically is less than what I had put, so it automatically goes to red. That's a function, that's a condition we put. So you can always have this condition. Create your target, create how people should always see when it goes to red. That will be your minimum, or that will be always your condition you'll have inserted. So for a gauge, it is also something that you can rely on for some of the visuals. You can go there, set a minimum, you can go there, set a maximum, and you can even set a tooltip. That is what we are going to go next in this next hour. So let's create another visual. We can remove this. Let's create maybe a measure for minimum. So you right click on this new measure, then we say a minimum here, minimum will be equal to, you can give it a number or you can even give it a percentage of a certain field. So you can say it is a percentage, 5% of a certain field. But I don't want to go to that complexity. Let's remain on a number. If I say the minimum we shall always go to is 200, tick off that. Then the maximum, let's create another measure for maximum. The maximum we shall always go for is 800. So yeah, let's make 800. No, let's make 900 because our target is, okay, let's make the maximum 1,200. Our target is 1,000, maximum we can go for is that, and the minimum is the other one. So I will enter this. Now, going back to your visual, go back to the insert data, come and pick a minimum, go search for it. You can even search for it here. This is it. I've put the minimum and put the maximum. The maximum we can go for here is that is the maximum. So you see that here we are starting with 200 as our minimum. Our maximum is 1,200. And this is the target. The other time you were saying that the maximum they were putting for us a default of this times 2. But now we have a minimum and a maximum. That's why you see now it is tailed up like that. So here you can go ahead, even if I filter by January, it is below, it is even below minimum. That's why you don't see anything. 88, below minimum. So you can always even go back and adjust your minimum in case things have changed. If I adjust this to 50 and it will refresh, and you see 50 because these guys have done only 88, and there we go. So you can always do anything you can. Everything is readily available for you. And you can always ask questions, go to internet and search. But a lot is there waiting for you to use. So you can have such visuals in your reports, and it clearly states how you don't have to explain something like this. It already tells everyone what it is. We can always go for a minimum of 50. These guys have done this. I think there is inserting labels here. Gauge, then okay, labels on values, minimum units, that is K, decimals, okay, that is it. So I think this is it, call out value. I will request you always to go there and tick off some of the things which are not defaulted. You see what it gives you, because most of the things you'll always see that they are always in auto. And when you always feel like I need my units to be in thousands, in K, in millions, you can always stack them to that. But leaving it in auto means that if this number increased to over a million, it will automatically change to a million. But it is all in your hands. You can always take that up. So I think this is it. Even you can always come to, you see this label that is here. You can always give it also a condition by coming to FX and give it a condition. Make it green or make it blue if it is above this, and it will always be the case. So it is you who does that. So you can create a rule, you can create a gradient, but this is a gradient. And it is defaulted because it is the simplest to go with always as a default. But when you go to a rule, it means that you're looking at minimum, maximum between, which is by default, which was being got from here. Then there is also using a field value, like you already have a DAX that does the conditioning. That is going to be something else in an advanced Power BI. We may not speak about that now. So guys, that is it. So the next thing I want us to go through is creating tooltips. I want us to create tooltips together, then we see how tooltips are being managed, how you can manage tooltips. Then after that, we are going to post this report of ours and try to see whether we can share it. So
submit your question.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. You talked about and you said every month Power BI tends to put up an updated version. Now, let's say we are now entering. Let's talk. The one I had was for June, and I'm updating for July. Will my data get lost, or it just updates automatically once I open it?
No, it actually there are two ways how you can install Power BI. When you install Power BI from, anyway, it's a good question. Let's go through it. When you install Power BI from Microsoft Store, here, you see every computer that has an updated version of Windows has Microsoft Store. So when you go to Microsoft Store and install Power BI from that end, that Power BI will always update automatically. It will not update automatically that you'll find it has already updated, but it will always prompt you that you have an update. Like how you can see on your phone, it will ask you whether you need to update either WhatsApp or Facebook or anything. So when you come here in Microsoft Store and search for Power BI, here you'll see the Power BI. So when you install Power BI directly from this store, it will always tell you here a pop-up, like how a pop-up comes on Windows, that you have pending Windows updates. So it will always tell you have pending Power BI update. But for me, who updated, installed directly from the other website, I should have been taking through some team. You'll always, obviously, when you reach to that point of following up with updates, you'll be following all maybe pages for Power BI. You'll see those updates coming through. They will announce them. Then you'll see the date of release. Then you'll go to that website of theirs. You download a new Power BI. The moment you install, you don't have even to uninstall this. The moment you install, it automatically fuses with this. Every data you have done is not lost. It's not lost, that's what I can say. So those are the two options you can always take if you have your personal PC. And if you want updates that are automated, you can always install directly from Microsoft Store. Then the other option is going to their website. I think that's something we started with, and installing from the website itself. And here it brings you a standalone application, which is this. So when you install this by selecting one of them here, it means every month they update, you'll have to go there and download another one. So you can choose out which one is better. Obviously, this one is better because it will just always bring you a pop-up here. You click on it, it updates, then you're good to go. And how do you check that it has updated? You come here on help, then you go on about, then it will give you this dialog and it will tell you the version you have. You see that version? It is July 2023. So even if you had like this one was Feb 2023. You will remain using your reports. You will remain doing all the other things, but there are new things that will have come on board that you don't have. Like that person who said, for me, when I click on my visual, it doesn't bring these two icons. For the previous versions, these two, you'll find them here. You'll have to come and click here and get them. You see, this icon is also here. This icon of data is also here. So which means you'll be forced always to use this side than me, who can just come here and even change the field here minus going the other side. So I don't know whether you pick it, but that's it. So anyone with any other question?
Thank you, Sabiti.
Anyone with any other question? Guys, I have not wanted.
Yes, Sabiti.
Yes.
This is Baluk Gilbert.
Yes, Gilbert.
I would need some more clarification about Power BI, like what is its use, how is it used, such a kind of stuff.
Yes, but look, I'm not laughing because you have asked a question that we shouldn't have had, but it's fine. There are people who joined for the first time. They may have not followed how Power BI is started, how everything is. Power BI, it is a visual tool. Any report you'll always come up with, you'll always have to use a visualization tool. The Excel we know and the Google Sheets we know, those are spreadsheets. Their work is meant to stop at cleaning your data. Like you have added columns, you have added decimals, you have calculated fields, it ends there. So when you upload your data to any visualization tool, it can be Power BI, it can be Tableau, you can go and read about them. Just go to your website, put in visualization tools. They'll bring you Power BI, all of them, they're around 10. So when you have created your data the other side, your team is using that spreadsheet. You don't want to put the report there. And it is always a lot of things you do. Those people who have compared how we created a dashboard in Excel and how we created dashboard in Power BI. So much different because this tool is meant purposely for that. So Gilbert will use Power BI to create dashboards, reports, and dynamic reports. You create a template of a report, people use it for years without changing. You create an app in Power BI because it also creates applications. So people use that app on their phones for years. Data keeps changing automatically. So that's how it is. So I think I've answered you.
Yes,
But
thank you.
I have another question.
Yes, Susan.
I'm wondering now that we are going to Google Sheets or how we'll be able to use it. Whether it will, you can still use it the same way.
No, even if you're on Google Sheets, doesn't restrict you from using Power BI. The moment you download your Excel like this, even if it is not showing this icon, I know it will show like a white icon because you don't have Excel installed. You can go to your Power BI, you go to get data, then you go to Excel workbook because you had downloaded it in Excel, which you don't have on your PC. The moment you click on Excel workbook, you'll go to that. Even if it has a white icon, pick it, take it to your Power Query editor. Do all the extraction, the transformation from the Power Query editor. I remember we did the cleaning. We once did that in Power Query. So the moment you take your sheet in Power Query, you can do all the cleaning from there. At the end of the day, you will find that you never needed Excel. And you realize that for the few days, for the last sessions we started using Power BI, we didn't use any of the Excel to do anything. We are just using it to view our data. But if you don't have the visibility there, come and view it from Power BI. So the moment you upload like this, it will automatically show you all the sheets in there. Like you see, here it is showing me the sheets that are there. This is the table, and this is the sheet that is there, which is the same thing. So the moment I click on it, all this data is already in my hands. So you can go ahead and if I select this, I can go ahead and load or transform data. It will automatically take me in the Power Query editor and do all your dynamics. So it doesn't have to limit you that you don't have Excel. Then Power BI had started, I think, working with Google Sheets. They had once one of the updates once, like last year, or I think it was 2021. They had included here Google Sheets when you go to more, but I think after some time they dropped them. Google Sheets. They had included here Google Sheets, but at some point they dropped them. So I think that's the limit you may have, that you can't link this directly to a Google Sheet. Actually, they are here. I thought they had removed them. So, which means if you have your data in Google Sheets, still you can come click on this and say connect. Then here it will first give you a disclaimer, because Google Sheets is a third-party service. Why? Because Google Sheets is under Google and Power BI is Microsoft. Even though they are direct competitors, at some point they come and liaise and reuse the other's program on the other end. So the Google Sheet connectors relies on the third-party service. So because it is not theirs, it is not in their hands. So here they are cautioning you that any changes that occur, the guarantee lies to you or to the person who initiated the connector. So you can read through here the connector, the guidelines of the service, but here we go, Talafia. Let's pick our Google Sheet. So you'll come and paste here the Google Sheet. Let me look for any Google Sheet I have here. Logistics. That Google Sheet we are using is, was it data analysis? Can you tell what is the name of that Google Sheet we are using? The one where we put LAT. Okay, let me search for it directly here. Actually, thank you for asking that question. Most people would have thought using Power BI without Excel is a nightmare, but let's try to go through this to show that even Google Sheets can connect. I'll put here the link, then I say okay. And obviously it will always ask you to log in, because the other sheet is protected. It is not public. So here it is asking me to log in. So I will say sign in. It will take you back to the browser to log in. So you'll choose the account that is logged in, because here they're asking you, choose to continue with Power BI Desktop. So I'll choose this, and it will ask me to give Power BI access to this file. I'll say yes. So the moment I do that, it will automatically sign in, and it will tell me you can return to the application. Feel free to close this tab. So which means when I return to the application, I should be able to connect, because now they're saying you are currently signed in. So I'll say connect, and it will run, and it has to bring all the sheets like how we saw in Power BI. So you see, if I go on the sheet of attendance, this one, so when I click on it, you see it drops all the names and brings all the other details. So you can go ahead and upload that. So the moment I select this, I can go ahead and say transform data. So try it out with your Google Sheets. You may find it will work for you better in Google Sheets, because these Google Sheets are going to be updated on daily, and you'll have created a report. I'm going to show you how you share the report to those who will have licenses. then those people will bookmark that link anywhere. And it is just a matter of them opening the link every morning, look at the report, close. While your team on the ground is feeding the Google Sheet. So here it is. Now, since even I don't have Excel, we didn't pass this into Excel. Go ahead and clean up this. We did the cleanup last time. Sorry to take you back, those who had ever passed here, but those are the things we are supposed to do in practice. So which means I will delete this column. You'll go ahead and remove the top columns. Here I see subject. Actually, these were dates. So which means I don't need column 1 and column 2. So I'll go ahead and say remove rows. Sorry, I don't need row 1 and row 2. I'll say remove rows at the top, and they will ask me how many rows do you want to remove. I'll say I want to remove 2, and I'll say I go ahead and remove the 2. So I will want to change this. I will want to promote this as a header. You go ahead and promote it. We did that last time. So since these are names, I'll rename these that these are names, right? Now, what we have remained with, all those are dates that people were attending, people were being absent, and at the end of the day here, we have a summary which I may not need at the end of the day, because since I'm going to create a report, I will have everything done in visual. So I will delete these columns. Now, someone will ask himself or herself, what should I do with now? Will every date remain to be a header on its own? When we are doing Power BI, there is something we talked about, unpivoting. So how does it feel if you bring these dates as a column, and this P, the E's, the U's as also its column, such that every date you can tell who was absent, who was present, who was like that. So that's what we call unpivoting. I know to those who need this, if you have never seen it, this is the way we do unpivoting. So I'll remove these columns which are blank. We are doing cleaning of data. We don't need them. When they update them, maybe we shall have them. Then at the bottom, there is nothing I have to remove. Everything is running up to Wilson Kalongo. Then we have to select this. You scroll up to the end, press a shift, select this. What do we want to do? We want to unpivot these columns such that these dates should be a column in its own, and this EP, what EU, they should also be a column on its own. So you go and transform and look for the word unpivot. So here it is. So unpivot, it translates all but currently unselected columns into attribute value pairs. So it is going to translate this into their own columns. So I'll click on unpivot. Here we go. You see how it is sweet that you have Abbott running from all his details with the different dates, with the different conditions we had inserted. So you come and rename this and say, by the way, this is date. And you come and rename this and you say this is the status, attendance status. Or you can set status like this. Then we have now we are still doing the cleaning. This is a date. It is not yet a date here because there is ABC. So you can come here, you say this is a date. The moment it changes to a date, good of you. And the moment it doesn't, we did a lot of dynamics last time. Now you go ahead and load this as a table. So we shall come here, close and load. So the moment you close and load, it is going to apply and it is going to load it as a table. It's running. It has loaded all the rows. Now, if you want to start doing all the dynamics of your reports, let's create a table here. Where is the table? We create a table here. We say in this table we need the names. Here are the names. Now, since it is picking from an online document, that's why you see it is taking long to refresh. Then you can come and unpack here the status. So I'll come and move the status there. So you see the status PE, and here it is not giving us what we want because it is not summarizing them. I'll say count for us. Now, the moment it counts, you see everyone, it is counting 19 statuses, which means we have had 19 sessions. But we haven't, we want to figure who has how many for P, for U, for all that stuff. So which means a table is not always now good for doing this, then you'll have to go for a matrix. So when you go for a matrix, that's where you'll find yourself adding status, a column that is going to pick the status. Again, status here, you see now we have that column. So here you can easily tell who did the highest of P, the highest of E, the highest of U. So you can do now the analysis from here. If I filter out by U, by P, by creating a slicer aside, and that slicer becomes the status here, which means if I select those ones who were present, it will give me present. And sorting this from A to Z, sort by status number. So here you can easily see the people who have attended more sessions. So even though I've done 19 sessions, no one has attended 19 all. So the best people have attended 16 and therefore, that is Noelina, Susan, Timothy, Twalim, and Kalongo. Then the next 15, Nicholas and Ronald. The next Augustine and that. Then there are these ones of one where we have Barasa, Onyango. I think these ones attended the first session when we were. So we have already done a quick analysis, which means now you can come even and create your card and do all the dynamics, or you can even create a line chart, which is this. Since we have a date somewhere, we shall pick that date. So the moment I tick it, it automatically goes on the y-axis. Then when I tick the status, there we go. Is this reflecting? It is showing years. No, I was supposed to not to take the whole hierarchy. I'm supposed to take day and month like this. Then no, here this one's supposed to be on the y-axis that way. Now, when you check this status, actually, let's look at our trend. It's good that the data that has come in is essential to this call. You see, when we started Excel, we started the first session we were 39. The number went dropping. When it reached around May 25th, the number dropped drastically. On this session we were 24 people. It came up again. The number has been dropping. Then here, I think that's when we started Power BI. The number dropped more, and you see the trend. At the moment, we are having 22 people on every call. So you can just do an analysis, and already this one has given you an insight, of which that insight, no one will have ever got an insight from such a data. You see, we have just analyzed this data in just a few minutes, and we already have something we can present with anyone who needs this report. So Susan, we have given you a hint because you're supposed to come up with this report. So you can go ahead and even create other metrics to show other things. You can split these sessions here. You can split these sessions and know which session was Excel, which session was Google Sheets, which section was Power Query, and you also have the same data picked this side. Then you can easily tell Excel, this was the number of people, this was the number of this at this point. And this I have only shown present. When I go to absent, this is the evolution of absent. No, this is excused. When I go to absent, you see the evolution of absent is the opposite of present. Absent, we started only 6 people were absent, but we reached a point when 23 people could be absent. And that's it. I think that is it. Susan, thank you for bringing up this. Actually, because I've never also linked to Google Sheets, I had not given it attention, but I knew it was there. But it's good you have brought it, and you can now use your Google Sheets and play with Power BI. Everyone should be given Power BI, though the licenses will be limited to those people who are doing reporting to high levels, because Akim told me they have only 10 licenses. And I think going forward, they will start doing the same, depending on how the people will be using this. So any other question? It is just a Q&A. I decided not to go further into other extended Power BI computations because it confuses us the more. But it is all about how you're going to do this in your practice. That's when you'll be perfect. So any other question, then we can run.
Yes, Abisti.
Yep.
This is Gilbert once again. Thanks for the good work. I would say I missed the first sessions because it was not intentional. I was engaged somewhere. However, I would request you direct me where I can find all the trainings ever since you started,
Yes.
so that I can go through. Then why I get in a problem, I can be able maybe to engage with you. Thank you.
All the videos, all the files we have been working with, there is a folder we upload in, and I think we put it once on WhatsApp, and every time they post, they put a link on WhatsApp. Try to check out. Then in case you have a challenge, you can always put it on that WhatsApp. We shall use that WhatsApp. I would love us to continue using the WhatsApp rather than coming to my inbox, because I would want everyone to engage. In case you ask a question, someone else can jump on the solution. That's when we shall know that we really have picked something. But otherwise, everything was done right, and we thought about people who would attend all the sessions. That's why we had to come up with archiving everything in the shared drive. Any other question,
on this
please?
group, on this very group?
No, Susan will direct you. We have a group where I think
WhatsApp group, the
anything,
data analysis group, Gilbert, your own. If you look at the links that are shared there, you can be able to reach even the videos where the description is.
On Google Sheet?
yeah, no,
Even
Google
YouTube.
Drive.
We can take you through after.
Okay. Yeah, you can be taken through, but just a quick one. There may be someone else who doesn't want to ask the same questions. A quick one. When you go to your drive, you'll open your drive. Then here you open your drive. I don't know whether Susan added even the other people from the procurement side, because mostly this was logistics. So you go to shared with me, because it is a shared drive. then you look for a document, a file, a folder written on that. Was it yes and something like that? Because I remember it should have had something like that.
That's yes and, or you can just go straight to data analysis type.
Shared with me.
There. It should be a folder.
This is a file.
That is a file.
There is a folder. Anyway, let me look for it here.
Sabiti,
I
you
know
go
it's
to
LIT data analysis.
BI3.
you go to
Here it
logistics,
is.
yes.
You look for logistics, yes, and the moment you open it, it has a lot of files. Don't mind on anything else. It is the logistics archive we have been using. Then you look for data analysis here. No. This data analysis training. So when you go there is session recordings and session files. When you go in session recordings, it has June, July, May, like that. So when you open there is week 1 and week 2, and those videos will be there. So go watch the videos. Then in case you can't easily get it that side, I will share with you a link of the YouTube where I put them. Then you'll just have it right here. Just a moment. The moment you have this, you'll go to, I had put them in a playlist. I had created a playlist for data analysis, LAT, this one. So you'll find all of them there. I haven't put others, but at least all what we started with, Excel, Power Query, all of them are there. We shall be adding more, such as those people who are watching from phone, from TV, you can always use this. But otherwise, that is it. And I think anything else, there you go, Gilbert. Now,
all right, this is wonderful.
Yes. Now, so those people who will have licenses, how do you share a report like this? So when you log in, they are going to give you these logins. So when you log in, you'll always have a Power BI service, which we call an online service. So the moment for me, I click on my online service to open through a browser, any browser that you're using. Then if you haven't signed in the other side, it will require you to sign in. So the moment it opens, it will always open like this. So you can always go ahead and create workspaces. So for me, I created workspaces, the projects I'm working on, when I do challenges, when I do my own work. Now, LH report, these I think were the reports I was running by then, the EPOD and the TAC. So you open those workspaces, they're like folders. How do you open a workspace? The workspace will already be here. You just say, open a new workspace. So like here, I will say, open a new workspace. Then I call this one LAT, data analysis, like this.
Do you have to save the workspaces or automatically they save?
You will always find there a workspace that is general. Now, creating a workspace is like creating a folder. But what it does with the BI service, when you can create a folder and align with the different people who have to access that file from there. Accessing the file meaning that someone can come on that file and edit it and add something like editing. So when you create a workspace, let me call it classes, okay. Like this, you can go ahead and give it a description. These were Wednesdays and actually Tuesday and Wednesdays. The order will not matter. Tuesday and Wednesday sessions like this. Then here you can assign it a domain, but you don't have a domain at the moment. You can put here a picture like the picture that will be visible in case someone wants to access it, or you yourself, if you have many folders, you give it a picture. So I'll go ahead and look for an icon. I come and put there an icon. Can look for any icon like this. Yes, so I've been a family. This is the file size is less than, it is very small, which means we have to use a bigger icon. I have to come to downloads, look for any picture I can use. Let me use this picture. Oh, it is very big. Okay. But at the end of this is like getting a logo and having that logo used. We may not dwell on it so much. So let me see. Anyway. But here you get a logo, like I will show you some of my workspaces where I've put a logo. Then don't mind on the advanced, because obviously it will pick automatically the version you're using, whether you're using a trial version or a premium version user, anything, it will pick automatically here. So that's why it is even in the advanced bit. Now, here you'll go ahead and apply. The moment I apply this, you'll see it is like a folder. When I come to my workspaces now, you see this is a folder created. So here you'll see that the other folders I have here, I have challenges we are creating every month. And everything you upload, it comes with the data and the report. It imports the data you are using and even the report. So you can even schedule that data to refresh every 2 hours in the day. So every 2 hours it refreshes. So this icon shows the data set. The other icon shows the data. Sorry, the report. So if I open like a challenge we did, okay, the one Christopher data analysis. Let's say when we come to, this is the report. The moment I click on this, it will open this logistics report. You see this logistics report. It has 4 pages. It has the front page, which means the 4 pages came from this end. Like here you're having home working, and when you do everything from this end and publish, that's how it will appear the other side. Now, when you share with your people, that's what I'm going to show you next. Which link do you share with them? You don't copy this link and share with them. The moment you copy this link and share with them, it means that that person has to be having access to this workspace. This person should be shared here, like manage access. The members who should be in this, which means now, Susan, for your case, when let's say you create a logistics workspace, and we say all the people with their with their reports, always post your reports under this workspace, such that even if that person is on leave, Susan, I can go there, or I can upload an update of another file to that same, and it replaces what is already there, such that people or the other people with a link, they automatically get the updated version of the report because they already have the link to that report rather than starting off afresh. So that's how we create a workspace. The other setups maybe can come slowly in handy when you already have it, and we can sit on another call and do this, but I just wanted to hint on you where the workspace is. Now, let's go now back to the desktop. I show you how, since we've already created a workspace here, the LAT data analysis classes, I want us to post the other data in this workspace. Then we can work with that. So I'll come back to my report. this one. Because I'm logged in here, I'll go ahead and publish because I'm logged in here. admin@subtechonline.com. I'm logged in. So I'll go ahead and publish. Anyone who is not logged in here will not have this button enabled. So when you say publish, it will ask you to first save anything you have done. So you can't publish unsaved work. So the moment you save, it has to open for us now the workspaces. Then it is from there, I will select the workspace where I need to save this. Sorry, it's running. Okay, here are my workspaces. So if you have many workspaces, you can go ahead and search by typing. So LN, it brings me the lot. So I'll click on this and say select. And the moment I select, it will show you publishing the PBI session, because this was the name of the session, the name of the file, to Power BI. So here, this is just a note that you can even create a mobile view such that your people can view the report on phone. But that we can hint on that tomorrow. Then here, don't go for the quick insights, but
I will be present.
okay. Here I will automatically say open for me the Power BI session in the Power BI online service. So the moment I click on it, it is going to open for me, it is going to open that report online because the report is already online. So after the report has opened, it will show us all the pages, you see? Now, just a moment because it is the first time. Let's leave it to refresh. Now everything is here. So when you're this side, you can still go ahead and you see navigate through your report by clicking anything. Select all. When you click this, everything changes to that. You get? When you click this, everything changes to that. But this is not enough because this is for you who has the edit rights or who has access to this workspace. But you need to share with people who even don't know what Power BI is. Now, how are we going to do that? You'll come here to file. You'll come here to file. Then if you want to download a file to use, like I want to download this file to use it in Power BI, you can download it from here. Then if you want to manage access, you can come here, manage access, and add more people. Like you add the people who are under your company. So let's go to another thing. Now, the most thing I want to show you, you can print this page. The moment you say print, it will give you options of putting it under PDF or printing it directly on the printer. You can create a QR code such that this QR code, you will put it somewhere in an office. When someone wants to access that report, they just scan that QR code. So the major thing I want you to look at is this embedded report. So we shall always come on embedded report and you say publish to the web, and in brackets there is public. So the moment you say publish to the web public, it means that you're going to get a link, which even I'm going to share on this call, such that everyone can open and see the report without a requirement of logging in. So the moment I say publish to web, it will first caution me that this report, you're going to create a link that everyone will have to access without even logging in. But since it is internal and you will have to share it internally, it has no much confidential data, you can go and say, create an embedded code. Still, to give you a note, you're about to create an embedded code for this report. Once published, anyone on the internet will be able to access the report and the data it contains, and Microsoft may display the report on the public website in case that person has a link. So the moment I publish, there you go. So they have created for us now 2 links. There is this link they say you can share on mail, there is this link you can give people, the people who are working on a company's website, they use it and it appears on the website automatically. Everyone who opens a website looks at this report and even visualizes with it. So this time we are going to go with this link. So the moment I copy this link, let me even take it in another browser like this. So the moment I copy that link and paste it here and enter, it will automatically open that report without requiring me to log in. Now, this will be now the people who you want to see this report on a daily morning. So you see the way how it opens. This is the way how it opens. Nothing else like these tabs we had in Power BI, because this is to you, the developer of the report. But these people will just look at this. So they can select all, they can select January and look at what January is. They can select July and look at what July is. They can go ahead and do the other filters you have put in the report. By clicking on any bar, they can filter the data, drill it down the more. Laura, this is an employee. It gives us the data independence of that employee. So here we have already published our report online. So this link is always large enough. In other words, it is always long. In case it breaks or you miss out any letter, let's say if I remove that letter and enter, it is no longer linking to that report because it is broken. So how do we always better off save this? In case you ever have any link that is long, even if it is a Google Sheet link, and you want to share it with the people, but you don't want it to break, or you want those people to always have something small to enter, even if they are typing it manually. So you can always, and here, by the way, we already done. This link is okay. Let me first share it with you here in case you want to access it. That is the report. Now, to those who will want to shorten this, we always have a website called Tiny URL, like this. Now, Tiny URL is a website that you can always go there and shorten your links. I hope those people who may need to use this are picking. It may not be part of Power BI, but it is necessary for anything you're running. So it will always open like this. You'll always come here, paste your link. It is, by the way, free. If you want to do other things, that's when you need to pay, but it is always free, and it even doesn't require you to log in. So I will paste my link there, then I will say shorten. The moment I say shorten, it will give me already a short code by default, this. Now, this code is very easy for anyone to run, which means if I copy this code and paste it in this link, you see it is very easy. And even if I'm typing it, I just know tinyurl.com ydamedvj. It is very easy to even memorize. So the moment you run that, for it, it will expand. You see, it re-expands into the original code, but it runs your report. So which means if you're sharing with people on WhatsApp, on where you can share that code that is already shortened. I can even share this one here. You can copy those codes and save them somewhere, those links and save them somewhere. But even I will put them on WhatsApp, don't mind. So now, when you go ahead and, okay, the purpose of this is done. I know I don't need this. Now, someone else would have said, but if I want to customize it, okay, let's copy this again. And we see another option. So let's refresh this. We see whether we can get a new page. Then if you paste your code there, and you want to customize it, you can put here anyone that has never been used here on Tiny URL. such that it is easy for people to pick out. Here I'll put LAT 2023. Let's check whether this one is there. No, that is already taken. Let's put underscore. Shorten. No, this, the format is wrong. What should we use that is more unique? Let's put LAT, then HIMA, then 23. Whoa, this one now is okay. Now this one is easy now for people to cram, which means someone will know that I will always put tinyurl.com, then / LAT HIMA 23. And I will show you that even when you run this code, let me open another tab like this, that URL. The moment you run the URL for it, will expand. Whoa, this was broken. I think it was broken. Yeah, it was broken. Yeah, we used the wrong one. And yeah, we copied and skipped this. Sorry for that. But I think you have understood how you can always play with shorten another one. Paste here. Now we can't use LAT again because it is already taken. Let me use, okay, LAT. Let's use TGS 2023. Shorten, yeah, this one is it. Then you copy this. The moment you run it into a browser, it has to open for us that report. So those who will share the reports, this is the way how you can play with it. It is easier to share that URL that is shortened on WhatsApp, on mail, than sharing the whole of this. Sharing the whole of this full, any breaking of any letter missing or any letter that was capital and it becomes small, it breaks. And no one is going to memorize this and type it, for God's sake. No one can do that. So that's why we always go for shorten. I think that is it. I think I've run through how we do the one service, how you post your report. So again, when you're done with everything in your report, you can publish. Now, any change you do here in design has to be republished. Any change you do in design. But any change that is done in data will automatically link with what is already on the one service, if I can open this. So when we come back here on our workspace, I will cancel this, come back to our workspace. I will look for my data analysis classes, LAT. You see, this is the way how it is. So you'll see the PBIX session is there and this, and the data set is there. So the moment you click on the data set, it will open the data set and it will open all the tables you had here. The moment you click on a table, it shows on the left. Show table, then you can even show the queries that were used. So you see the queries that we have those formulas that we used in the queries. Then if we show which other table, let's go on this, let's say, actually this is a measure, you can show table. So for now, I think that is it. Let me go back. So when you click on this, it automatically opens the report, the other report, like the one we have opened it here. So I think that is it, guys. So that's how you look at this in the Power BI. Actually, now the Get Insights, when you click on Get Insights, it always explains your report. If you're presenting or you're going to present to senior management, and you have to go with some insights to speak as you present a report, you come in Power BI, it will generate for you the insights. Now here are the insights. orders started trending down on Sunday, January this, falling by 56.25% in 4 days. You can imagine you're presenting a report and you tell such insights to people, people will think like, this guy knows his data. He has really done the analysis, but it is the tool that gives you this. So that's the extended bit you can always go. So if I select this report, let me see, all the insights are showing only on the trend. Let me see, actually they are only showing the trend. So now you see how the trend is more essential to show such insights. So if you have the trend of revenue, it will always tell you that. Like they tell you now, orders dropped from 32 to 14 during the steepest decline between Sunday, January, and that it is the same up. You can always pick out a few insights you write down when you're presenting to any group of people. You just pin about something and it will always trigger a decision at some point. And always there should be a reason why this was a fall, this was an increase. And that is the analysis you will have done. So that's how you can use that cheat sheet of getting insights. Then the other things, I think they are like normal. You can export this to actually now those people will want to maybe to present in PowerPoint. You can present it, you can export this to PowerPoint. Either you export it as an embedded live data, like you will be there and every time the data will be changing. Either you can take back this data into Excel or you can export this into PDF. So the moment I do PDF, it will download the PDF and maybe I'm supposed to share this to a team who are not accessing Power BI, who are not accessing the other link, but they just need to look at a particular report in a PDF format, or you want to print it. So you can always do that. But otherwise, guys, I think this is it. And if you want to edit directly from this side, not going back to desktop, there is always an option of edit here. Okay, this has opened. So that's how it looks like. This is a PDF. You see all the 3 files I've downloaded. So you can always go to edit here and everything we had in desktop, you see this, you have it this side, which means I can change this report in the middle of a meeting and people look at something else than what was done and published previously. So you can adjust when you are still in the call, or let's see, you can create like a visual here. Let's say this, and insert the number of orders like this, and you split them, categorize them by employee name like this, and here it will run very swiftly like that. So here we go. So a lot of things you can do them directly this side without even going back to the desktop. That was updated last month, which means if you have to May, you may not have such an option. Let's wrap up most of the things tomorrow. Tomorrow I would have loved to start off from how we started loading this data, modeling. So anyone who has been missing a session, don't miss tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's session is completely wrapping up Power BI from where it starts up to where it ends. But we shall be quick because most of the things we have done them. So Susan, you'll pass that communication. Tomorrow we are doing a round walkthrough, 360, from where we started up to where we have left it from. Then we can leave people to continue doing their practice. Though the practice is not so much visible, it's not coming through. I've not seen people practicing. Either we are waiting for the time and the time is now. So guys, that is it. I don't know whether there is any question that maybe has triggered in the course of working through this, but that's it. I know what we have done is enough to carry you to make to have you reports, which you can even report at a global level. As in that course, you'll be learning a few things when you practice. But otherwise, Power BI is just a new tool. I can say it is like 4 years, 5 years, but it is new to most of the people. Don't feel left behind. Just feel, I think you can even boast that you already know what you have known, what people will know even next year or the other year to come. So let's start off. As updates come through, you'll be on point with those updates, and you'll learn as you continue with the rolling of the same. I think that is it, guys. I don't know whether you have any questions before we close off the call. If you are speaking, then you're mute.
Silence means acceptance.
Yeah, Susan, you'll go ahead and end this recording. This recording has been more of jump here and there. Let's make tomorrow a recording that is going to be swift enough for people who are going to do beginner to maybe pro level. So I wish tomorrow I'm going to make it to make sure that I'm not fixed. If we can even join earlier.
Submit, there's something I wanted to inquire.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, apart from having the sessions, if I get any difficulty in the course of practicing, do I have a chance of calling you, or you're always busy engaged somewhere? Because there's where you may say, when you get stuck, maybe you can, once in a while, call me for help.
Calling me directly will mean another consultancy which will charge you a fee. You just have to put it in mind.
It can be like how much, if you can make a rough estimate, if I call you on a
you'll end your recording as we have this chat.
Okay.